flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow our heads. Dear Lord, please help us to make the best decisions for our community. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Well, as you see, I'm sitting in the mayor's big seat again because he's off gallivanting around. And so the first order of business this evening will be to elect and nominate and elect a recorder pro tem to take the minutes for the evening.
I move that we have Dave O'Connell as our recorder pro tem.
And I second that.
All right. During discussion, Dave?
I voted.
All right. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Very good. All right. Recorder, can I have the roll call, please?
Am I serving this roll call? Scott Murphy, absent. Susan Webster,
Here.
Elizabeth Skinner,
Here.
Mary and Lynn Hickey, absent. Rebecca McLeod.
Here.
Greg Sheen, here. And Dave O'Connell.
Okay. All right. If you all will have a look at the council minutes from the meeting of February the 18th, this was the last meeting. Mary Lynn Hickey helped with these minutes, and we got our heads together and like that. I think that any corrections have been made, but if you all saw any, please let us know. Otherwise, we can accept the minutes by common consent.
Yes.
All right, is that okay? All right.
Yes.
Okay, move down to persons from council. And who we have on the agenda today is Pete Gordon from the Berkeley Springs State Park Foundation. Welcome, Pete.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. I'm here to express the deep gratitude of the Berkeley Springs State Park Historical Foundation for the town's sponsorship of our park improvements project, which was 8 years from inception to completion. There were bumps in the road, but we made it. We couldn't have done it without Pete Brown, and there was a trip to Romney. I think Rebecca and Pete Brown and Scott Murphy did that. So let's just say it was a learning experience, and we have other projects that we'd like to accomplish, and we want to do these primarily through public support. We've had some generous donations recently, and what we would like to finish up is the asphalt pad by the Gentleman's Spring. Construction's already underway. We didn't expect it to be so fast after the wait last time around. We would like to construct a permanent pad for musicians performing in the park. We'd also like to restore George Washington's bathtub, which is crumbling. You know, if George were to crawl in there today, he'd get cuts, the water would spill out. The brickwork around the outside, it's not a major rebuilding of the whole thing. It's not, going down, I believe, below the water level, but just take a look at it sometime. I hadn't really.
It never was anything that you really wanted to get in and sit. It never did look inviting to me, but I understand what you mean.
There was once there, sorry, I'm digressing here a little bit, but there was a band with an electric bass player. He went over, stuck his toe into it, and completed the circuit. And was shocked. So we can't prevent that. But we can do some brickwork around the outside. We'd also like to complete the sidewalks out along the east side of the run. You notice the new sidewalk just abruptly ends. It's because of budget constraints. We couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have the funding to do this. We would like your permission, now that construction's already underway, to use the Fairfax Street pavers that are behind the depot. And David Stoll is our stonemason. He did all the work over at the cemetery. He's just
That's beautiful.
tops in my feeling, my mind. And he's claims that there are plenty of pavers for our projects and for the cemetery projects as well.
Okay.
So with your permission, we can help you clean up that mountain of beautiful bricks. He is a couple of guys over there. I could have prepared something better. I have on my phone photographs I took today.
But it looks much better, and I'm glad they're down there putting them on pallets now, and like that, they're already down.
They're already down, and it's in a,
They've been using those for the cemetery, for the church
Yes.
cemetery, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great idea. I was actually gonna offer them if you weren't going to take them.
no, it's a treasure.
Yeah.
And it's a treasure historically, and they're
They're
beautiful
over
things.
100 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been the first time Fairfax was paved. I'm just
It
guessing.
was.
Probably.
So in the
Yeah.
1800s sometime.
Mhm.
And what David Stoll is doing is taking these, he's cleaning them up, and he's going to use what was facing down, so it looks new.
Right.
So I think it's
That's
a
great.
win-win. And to my surprise, just visiting it today, he's putting down a herringbone pattern, not just like that. So check them out when you get a chance. Look at George Washington's bathtub.
Yeah.
We don't need a sponsorship for this. We're not going through any government funding. The DNR did give us a grant for $7,500 years ago. The pad replacement's been on the burner since 2018 or so. And I don't need to go into the story of that. It was part of our project, and then
It's too much.
well, it was too much. Well, the park.
It was.
I'll go into the story.
Yeah.
The DNR was planning to reconstruct the Gentleman's Spring, and they did a big job with that, and they were going to incorporate the pad into that project. But for whatever reason, I'm not sure they couldn't do it, and so it just
Mhm.
was left undone. So anyway, it's going to be finished in the next 2 weeks. It's just such a breath of fresh air to be able to say that.
It is.
The last project I was,
Well, you see the difference in a government project in private funds. It's night and day.
yeah,
So I'm happy that it's moving along like it is. And you do, if you have a big donor or someone that you want to show them that you're using the money in a constructive way and quickly. It's not, sitting somewhere. So
we would like to get these done this year, not in the name of being quick, just for the sake of being quick. I mean, not to take any quality away from it, but to show our donors that we can do this.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I'll leave you with one final thought, which is, and this is from the donors. We would like to eventually, I think this is going to be complicated, construct year-round, comfortable and clean restrooms in the park. And the idea, I mean, we've just knocked around ideas for this, but if we could do it where the locker rooms are in the pool, the entrance to the pool, it's going to mean reconstructing the building. The pipes right now are on the outside. It's going to be a lot of work. I'd like to see if we can get together a coalition of businesses and banks and citizens and government officials. And maybe we can do that completely privately funded. If there's a reasonable grant out there, sure, let's go for it, because it's not going to be an inexpensive project, but it would relieve the businesses in town
Yes.
of the burdens of, knock, can I use your bathroom, please, and I think the business, the Country Inn, I know, gets people streaming in all the time, as do the Fairfax Street businesses.
And the problem with the public restrooms now in the state park is they're in a historic building that's not handicap accessible. The doors are very narrow, and all these, it can't be left open all year round and like this. So that's a great idea.
I think, and it's just popping, so please put this in your minds and think it over.
Right.
My daughter-in-law is an architect, and she's going to come up and look at it pro bono, just look at it for ideas and stuff. I think we could do this with the area at the entrance to the swimming pool where the locker rooms are. We could still have locker rooms there. We could still,
And just have public restaurants.
Yeah.
It's great.
Are you going to use bricks for the musicians platform as well?
yes,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Bob Worcester is on the foundation, and it was his idea to start with. He said, if we could have a 20 by 10.
Just something flat so that,
Originally, he said
Yeah.
just a concrete slab. Well, David Stoll said, no, there's too much concrete. We can do them with these pavers. There are plenty of pavers.
Mhm.
They're flat and they're beautiful. And having played a number of concerts up there, it's
a
dangerous.
challenge.
There's some,
Yeah.
there's some rabbit holes in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's little tiny
Oh,
rabbit
yeah.
holes or sinkholes
Very nice.
or something.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Twist your ankle, fall on the run.
I don't
So,
think we need
okay.
a motion.
No,
No.
we're just,
Have at 'em.
Do
This
I
is-
mean,
Yeah,
they're
thank you.
intended to be used in the community.
Mhm.
And
historic.
right, and particularly with the park and with our German cemetery, it's a really good use for them.
And again, very briefly, to use them where the pad is now, there are pipes and conduits under that pad.
Yeah.
When they've had to get at them, they've ripped up the asphalt, patched it down again. You can see, you could have seen that's all gone now. And if for some reason along the line somebody doesn't like this pad, you just
pull them up.
pull them up and put it down again. So
And so, thank you.
Are you sure we don't
Thank
need a
you.
motion?
I
No,
don't
because
know,
we were always trying to get them to be used in the,
and for them to be
Within the
used in a
community,
historic
we were
manner
directed.
is
And there is
them
no
that way.
commitment to use them, I thought the last time, Rebecca.
the commitment is that they're
to the
used.
German. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they weren't gonna use them all, they just need them for, they didn't really use that many for the sidewalk in
Oh,
the
it's
German
the
cemetery.
German cemetery.
Right, so
Yeah.
and David is doing the work there too,
Oh, so,
so he knows how much
You
there
would
are.
know.
And there's a huge pile down there.
okay.
I think
As
there's
long-
plenty.
As long as you're the
We're not
one who's
sure it's a
handling
lot.
both those projects,
Yeah.
great.
We're not
Very
sure
good.
it's. a
Thank
lot.
you so much.
Thank you.
yeah, well, the main message is thank you all.
Wow.
Please pass that on to Scott and Mary Lynn
Sure.
for sponsoring the last project. And this one's very exciting. It's happening quickly. I guess I should probably ask forgiveness for the ones we've already taken down there. But
Don't worry,
looks great.
don't worry, I'm happy.
We have our permission.
All right, thank you.
thank you so much. I will keep you posted.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm gonna have to hit the road.
I understand.
Thank you.
I
Thank you all.
Thanks, Pete.
Uh-huh.
Good work.
Okay, we're gonna go on to communications from mayor and others in the audience who want to speak. We'll have that at the end of the meeting. So communications from mayor, we just had the 35th International Water Tasting, which the Berkeley Springs Water Works has some great bragging rights. We came in second in the municipal water category, and it was very exciting. Only 2 other times do I recall that happened. Once we came in third in 1993, and then 2009, we came in something like fourth or
It's a
something.
pretty big contest, it's international,
It's big.
so.
It's wonderful. And so we're very proud of Berkeley Springs Water Works, proud of the guys that work down there, and proud of the work we're doing to improve it. So, we also have one of new businesses in town, the Grand Castilian, is having their bread and bed and breakfast grand opening at their building at the corner of Market and and so that's this Sunday from 12 to 4. So I encourage people to go up and see that. Bonnie's Bus will be at the Senior Center on March the 7th. Bonnie's Bus is a mammogram bus that I'm thinking that you can make appointments. I don't know the details of how that works, but it should be. Are they advertising this, do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the paper, it's on our webpage and Facebook also.
So,
You don't have to have insurance.
and that's a great service. So I certainly am one to encourage people to do that. We'll move on to Bath Development. Their next meeting is March the 5th, which is tomorrow evening at 4:30. And On Track is March the 13th at 4:30. I don't know if anyone here has anything to add to that. I'll be going to the meeting tomorrow. Try to make it if you can.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, okay. All right, Parks and Rec. I don't think we have anyone here from Parks and Rec. Planning Commission,
Larry's eating pancakes.
Larry's down at the pancake
He's cooking
dinner.
them.
He's probably cooking them. So, Rail to Trail, we did get a report from Pete. Do you have anything, Rebecca?
We presented our idea about doing the town of Bath handling the renovation for parcel 1A, the area around the depot. We talked to the county about that. They were in favor of speaking with Department of Highways. Department of Highways didn't say no. They're investigating it right now. We'll see how that works out. So it's in the process. We should know a little bit more about that in the future. In the meantime, the county did decide to look at two potential possibilities for the renovation. One would be just gravel, which is right now on the design that's been done by the last firm that we had, HDR. And the other is the other approved method of remediation, which would be gravel and asphalt. And since the long-term use and desire is to have an asphalt parking area, we want to get an idea of what the expense would be. So we're going to move forward with that with our streetscape engineer, who said that we've got the capability of doing that at no cost.
Okay, great. Reform Streets, anything more?
Streetscape, you notice that First Fruits is back in town, but they may not be there tomorrow because of the rain. They expect to finish up by, at least with the concrete, by next week. The ADA ramp in front of Hunters has been approved, and that we have money in the budget for that, so there won't be additional expense from the town for that installation. That's moving forward.
Okay, all right. Train Depot, there's still the discussion on exhibits that, and this is going on with Jim Bailey, who's a retired National Park Service exhibit expert. Terry Golden from the Morgan County Historic and Genealogical Society, and members of Travel Berkeley Springs on exhibits both inside of the depot and outside also. So that's what's going on right now. Landmark Commission, let's see if we have anything on that. Okay. Clerks and reporters, we have the budget schedule.
Right. We're getting ready to do this year's budget. The meetings are open to the public. They're posted on the board if anybody's interested in coming.
Public, if you have a building permit acknowledgements, we do have the property use request, the Mountain State Cruisers Father's Day car show. They have requested to be on the west side of Fairfax by the park. They have requested that we close that down. We did decide for that day, which is June the 14th, from 6:30 in the morning till 4 p.m. The Finance Committee did decide to allow them to do that. It's a great family day, and it's one that's enjoyed by a lot of locals and has a great following. So I'll give GW a call tomorrow and let him know that that's fine and in the works. I don't believe that we had any other property use requests turned in to us. We'll move on to finance.
Okay. We have to make a motion to pay Town of Bath bills in the amount of $10,430.51.
Second.
Did
Do I
you
have a
second?
second?
Oh, second.
Okay. All right, discussion, all in favor?
Aye. Motion to pay Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $40,901.32.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye. Motion to pay tree board bills in the amount of $84.49.
Second. Second, okay, Beth, all right. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
And Greenwood, oh, okay, go ahead. I'm going back to my old ways.
Motion to pay Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $87.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, going to the tree board.
At the last council meeting, I reported, we had received the news that the 2025 Division of Forestry grant would not be reimbursed in the near future. The tree board met the next day, and I should say that all of the monies that have been paid out are out of the tree board's account. The town is not out any money. At the tree board meeting the next day, the decision was that there is sufficient money remaining in the tree board account that we want to proceed with the tasks that are outlined in the grant proposal. There was the consensus that if the project was important then, it's still important. We're not doing the work just so we can get money. It's also important in that there's a lot of uncertainty about other grants and what impact that may have in the southern part of the watershed and how that might affect the frequency and severity of flooding. The remainder of work to be done on the 2025 Demonstration City Grant is to trim some of the larger maples on the western entrance to the main cemetery. The goal is to prolong the life of these trees. We also want to protect persons and property by avoiding as much as is possible limb failure. Also, large trees are much more effective at capturing rainfall, capturing pollution, and so on. And so we want to maintain as many large trees as we can upstream from the town of Bath. We purchased fertilizer spikes that we can use to fertilize trees that are 5 years old or so to maintain their vigor and health. And one of the primary places that we're going to be doing this is in the depot lot because that's very sandy soil that they are planted in. There aren't a lot of nutrients in that soil or in that ground cover. At this point, the tree board has spent $3,577.09. The total amount granted by the Division of Forestry was $5,000. And Susan, I did send you a copy of this to put in the minutes.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you.
Any
Any
questions?
questions? Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, the grant committee, our chairman is out this evening. I don't know if there's anyone that has anything for grants that they want to talk about. Okay, public safety.
Chief?
Oh,
Sure.
public safety.
No.
Yes, you do.
What I have, man?
Why do you want to introduce who's behind you?
Oh,
People
Mr.
who
Hunter,
may not-
yes. I got Mr. Hunter Bracer, the new officer starting today. Nice to meet you all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're deep into getting him through his process of his physicals and all that stuff. So
How's that going? So you were on duty today, or you
He's-
shadowed?
today's his first day. Tomorrow he'll be on the range, and then we got a battery of things for him to do next couple of weeks.
Sure.
Very
Okay.
good.
Get the application done and sent to Oklahoma State Police Academy, gave him a basic class down there hopefully, early May.
Right. I think that's wonderful. And I think it's wonderful too. He comes from an animal control background. That's kind of one of my, I would say, pet peeves. But feral cats and feral animals in town is I think it's a bigger deal and a health issue for not just the animals, but people too.
The ironic thing of that is I was the one that hired him in Berkeley County for animal control. And
Really?
then I hired him here for a police department. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna
Well,
follow
hopefully
you.
it's a step up.
Yeah.
I'm in who you're controlling.
Yeah, it depends on who you're controlling. That's right.
He's a good guy. He's got a nice family. And he'll be good for us.
Well, glad to
Absolutely.
hear that. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Good seeing you, Hunter.
Anything else?
No.
Public safety, okay.
That was our big news.
Cemetery,
Just a reminder that Make It Shine is going to be on April 5th, the first Saturday in April with the rain date on the 12th. And so I'd like to invite everybody in the community to participate. You can either clean up throughout the town or you can join us in Greenway Cemetery to get the cemetery ready for the mowing season, which is quickly upon us. And that's all I have.
What's the time on
9 a.m. to 12 noon.
9 a.m. to 12?
it's a big deal.
And Brianna and I are going to put up the rest of the posters tomorrow.
Okay, good, good. Okay, Public Works,
I want to let the community know that the Warm Springs Watershed is also doing Make It Shine in the, along Jimstown Road, where we get a lot of trash that blows through town. We'll be meeting down there with your permission,
I talked to Kate.
Good.
Yeah.
cleaning up the trash there April the 2nd, which is a Wednesday, 9 to noon, with a rain date of the following Wednesday. The watershed will also be doing tours of the watershed with some of the natural experts in the area, people who know about frog calls. And it'll be a great time to walk the trail because the work on the bypass will start later this year, and it'll be one of the few times that we can get down there and enjoy the vernal pools and the wetland vegetation and just see what's down there before construction starts. So that'll wrap up the end of the Make It Shine for that community. The other thing I'd like to say is that there are stealth gardeners out there who are cleaning up some of our public gardens on Congress Street in particular. And I'd like to thank them, and the community would like to thank them. We're very happy about that.
Yes, absolutely. Any volunteers?
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Okay. Ordinance?
Rebecca, the Jimstown, are we doing Jimstown Road or are we doing the trail?
Along the trail.
Doing the trail.
Make It Shine is not an adopt a highway program. It's to be done off of the highway right of way. The Watershed Association also picks up trash along 522, and that's scheduled for April.
May 5th, I believe that's a Wednesday.
And we enjoy having volunteers for that as well. But that's trash on the road. Right away.
What road again?
We do
522.
from 522 from the Moose to the new sheets. 2 miles, 2.2 miles.
That's a lot of trash.
No,
It's
over
been
the
pretty
years,
good.
over the years, the amount of trash is diminishing.
And we have some good volunteers in town. Donna Coates and Ellen Lakowitz are good about picking up trash within the community. So it's focusing mostly on things that are a little outside of town, or, you can tell where there's been a car accident if you pick up the metal and the
What are the times for the Warm Springs, April 2nd event?
9 to, the whole event will be 9 to noon, but we expect the trash to go pretty quickly because we clean that up. We'll have the watershed walk after that.
And the
What day?
event on the 5th?
What?
The event on the 5th?
And
Maybe
9 o'clock.
9 to,
Starts at 9 in the depot.
it usually takes about an hour and a half.
And we provide vests, gloves,
So-
grabbers,
9
See.
to 11, is that what you're saying?
9 to 10:30. Yeah.
9 to 11.
Safety instruction.
I would just like to ask Rebecca, when we're planning our stealth garden work, what would be great, I can reach out to you in advance, is just for you to point out what we should touch and what we shouldn't touch as we're zipping through everything. So I will give you a heads up when we get out there. For those.
We'll be mulching later with the tree board. The tree board and the Watershed Association join together and mulch the town trees, usually in April.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we've had generous donations of mulch from Mike Merchant, who's been doing some of our work. So we've got a big pile down at the depot, and that'll be a good time to look at the gardens and things like that. We haven't set a date for that yet.
So for the gardens, for instance, on Washington Street, are you going to mulch those, clean those gardens out and mulch those gardens?
In the planter boxes.
Yes.
The Fox Club Garden Club is supposed to take care of, or has committed to taking care of the first block. The second block, we still need volunteers for.
The second block.
When they get all
Olive,
the
Himalayan, gift
berries,
shop,
yeah,
all the way to the corner of Wellspring.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
and yeah, anytime, just send me a text or.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yep, that's good.
Okay, ordinance?
Ordinance, next meeting is the 20th at 4 p.m. We have several initiatives that are collaborations with the county at this point. One involves public transportation. The department, West Virginia State Department of Public Transportation, will be visiting the town of Bath. Collectively, we'll have a meeting with our needs as well as the needs of the county. We have gotten some assessments from Blue Ridge. We're meeting with Valley Health on Friday. Heather Seigel and one of her deputies to discuss, the needs of the hospital as it relates to public transportation. We'll also be speaking with Gat Creek, our largest employer, what his needs might be. So, we're trying to involve all the stakeholders, also travel Berkeley Springs. We get a better understanding, connecting Paul, so that would help them economically. And all this also to benefit, employment opportunities in the town. The town needs to hire a lot of folks. They'll need public transportation to get to and from work. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered as it relates to public transportation, but we're trying to pull in everyone we can to get everyone's voice, both from the public side and the private side. So it's been
Yeah,
at
it's
this point,
interesting.
yeah, it's interesting, and everybody's been really on board for the plan.
And it's a pretty typical problem in small rural communities.
It is. And it's time to deal with it, at this point. And the state, they're very interested in pursuing this with us and partnering, as is the county, and of course the town as well.
Do you have a specific date that you're meeting?
No, we're pulling, there's a discussion also with the Hampshire Transit Authority. They'll have a big role in what goes on in the county as well. That's Doug Pixler. The county folks are talking with Doug. We're talking with Bill Robinson, who's the executive director of the public transportation for the state of West Virginia. So we're having the conversations at all the levels we need to have them. And then we'll, at that point, once those meetings are completed, once we have better assessments of the needs, everyone's needs, we still have to reach out to the mayor, Paul, and see how, their needs, how they can contribute, and what that might look like. So we're trying to get everyone involved, and it's not an inexpensive project.
No, it's not. It's more complicated.
Yeah. And the only other piece I have is, as we know, we have our 250th anniversary. December 6, 2026 is 250 years. So we had a few introduction conversations. Met with the DAR today for lunch, which was just wonderful. If you're going to start talking about George Washington, I think you should start with the DAR. And introduce the idea and get their thoughts and ideas on it. So they were very receptive, and we'll continue, having those kind of meetings.
There are sons too.
There were some, then I don't know.
I don't know if they're still active.
Yeah.
I don't know either. I don't know if Terry Golden might know.
Yeah, there's a lot of, also, of course, the Legion, the VFW. I mean, we're just beginning all of those conversations, because it's about start to finish on a statue or whatever that might look like is a 20 to 22 month project. And we just want to roll everybody in.
George Washington reminds me that on the 15th of March, the museum is having a program on George Washington.
Yes.
And I think that Kent and Melissa Schad are dressed in period clothing
Yeah,
and
yes.
giving a presentation. It's trying to pick up a tradition John Douglas and Jeannie always open the
Yep,
museum
yep.
season. So that's something that,
Thank you, Kate.
I think everybody should try and get to
Yeah.
and support the museum.
No, I think that makes, yeah, thank you, Kate, that's important, and, yeah.
It's March 15th.
March 15th.
That's great. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Good. Okay, good stuff. All right, Waterworks.
What works. So I just wanted to give an update on, three people here are on the water committee, so they already know this. We've made progress on picking a engineering firm, GD and F, and I can't remember their names when, I forget the rest of it. But GD and F is the firm that is, that we selected as the highest, most qualified. But we are going through the process of negotiation now. And through that process of negotiation, we may end up going to the second firm, which was Thrasher, and getting an additional bid. So how that works out will unfold over the coming months.
All right, thank you, thank you. Okay, anything else to come before council before I go to the public?
Was that?
Anything else that you all want to bring up? Otherwise,
No.
Mr. Giles, would you like?
My name is Joe Giles. I'm the pastor at Berkeley Baptist Church. I have been here for 10 years. Last month, 10 years. And in that 10 years, 9 years, we've lived in the town. I can say it has been wonderful to see this town council and the county commission put so much effort in the last 10 years to the beautification of the town of Bath. I've enjoyed it. But I'm here today on behalf of Bassett Street.
Oh.
It needs to be fixed.
Well.
And I don't mean filling potholes temporarily. And I'm hoping this coming year, you can find it in the budget or something to fix Bassett Street.
What is happening with Pfizer is the public service sewer district
Mhm.
is replacing all of the pipe under Pfizer
Okay.
and on Route 9. And so we've held off doing repairs because they will be paving it as soon as that's done.
Do you have any idea when that might be?
They have selected a firm to start. They've already bid it out. The job will start relatively soon as all of the state requirements and things are met. So within the next few months, they'll start construction. It is going to take some time though, so
Okay.
it's probably gonna be a 24-month project.
Then if that's the case, then in the meantime, you need to go back and refill. I just bought a new truck, not brand new, but new to me. And it was perfectly in line last month when I bought it, and it's already out of alignment. And it's because of the potholes of Bassett Street. So the one right there in front of the basketball court has tripled in size in the last 3 weeks, I have to guess. And I know it's from the plowing and stuff like that, but it's getting bad.
We'll take a look at it
So I appreciate it.
and
I
see
know
if
it's not
there's
quite
any
warm enough yet to do
temporary.
it, but
Well, yeah, we've been looking at possibly,
if you don't, I'm gonna start planting bushes and trees and stuff in the potholes. So,
we do have some locations that we need to do patching. We avoided Pfizer because we knew they were gonna
I didn't know
tear
that,
it
and I
up.
understand that. That makes perfect sense.
We asked,
But something's gotta be done.
we asked them to put some information in the paper to let the residents
No, I
know
must have
what's
missed it. That's
happening.
fine.
Well, no, it hasn't appeared
Okay.
yet, so we don't know what the schedule is. It would be great if they would start on that. But we do know there's a lot of people down there, especially with the park and the residents, so.
I mean, and I know it only goes up past a certain point when it hits the county
Right.
and it becomes county responsibility, but right there from the Church of Christ right up to Ewing Street,
It's bad.
it's bad. It's,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
they're gonna be digging it up and replacing stuff anyway, then there's no need to repave it, but we do need to get it patched really, really bad.
We do.
Right.
I appreciate you
May I
coming.
ask your name again?
Joseph Giles.
Joseph Giles.
I'm pastor up at Berkeley Baptist. I'm a
Oh.
history teacher at the high school.
There you
He's about 4 or 5 houses east of you.
go. Yeah, that's correct.
Mhm.
You're up the street
Yeah.
from me.
So he understands.
Yeah, I
He's-
know.
He's on it.
Yeah.
He's on it.
I'm very sympathetic.
Yeah, I
Yes.
understand.
He is.
Just down below you, I think where they just fixed up that house that,
Right next to it, that's where the worst is.
That right there in front of the basketball court.
Mhm.
We'll all have to ride down and see you.
Be careful. You might want to just partner in the Church of Christ, take a walk.
Take a couple on, so you can get pulled out of the pothole.
That's right.
It has been deferred to be fixed primarily because they knew.
And I get that. I didn't know that. I get that, but
And we
if
didn't
that's
know
the
the
case,
schedule until just a couple
if
of
that's the
weeks
case,
ago.
and I know it ain't quite warm enough to actually even go in and patch it yet, but as soon as it is,
Throw some gravel in it.
we need,
or something.
well,
That the last patch that happened down there, from my view, only made matters worse. Using cold patches. Really,
Yeah. No, it needs to be hot asphalt, but you can patch it, but it needs, that's probably gonna have to wait for a month.
Yeah,
But gravel or something like that at the very least, just to
Yeah.
something.
do
Fill it
something.
in.
Yeah, we can do that.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, and I thank y'all for hearing me.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so gracious and having a sense of humor about it as well. So,
Yeah. be part of
There are
it.
things you
Smile
can't
early,
control in life.
You're right. Yeah.
But thank you for coming to see us.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else have anything to bring before council? If not, I will call for adjournment. Common
So
concession B5. Okay. All right.
It's a
We're
record.
done.
Good work, Susan.
Well,
Thank
it
y'all.
comes back.
Thank you.